YouTube as well. So if you are watching the VOD, we do like to just chat for 10 minutes to let people come into the stream. So if you don't want to see that, make sure to skip ahead around 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you want to miss out on that grinning face from Lyle? SS Thorn wins the prize for being first. What does he win, Lyle?
I have no idea. It's your stream.
You were meant to bring the prize, man.
He wins? I don't know.
He wins Lyle's prize money from Vancouver.
No. Sorry. That is not going to happen. I need that money. It's expensive up in here.
I'll bet. A drive to Windy. Are you both playing Indy?
Maybe. Maybe. I might. If I do one more regional this season, it'll be Indy because it's like driving range for me. Don't think I'll be able to attend NAIC this year because of the timing of it. So.
When is it?
NAIC is the first week of June, I believe.
That's late.
No, that's early. Typically, it's last year was like the 4th of July weekend, I think.
I was thinking it's late compared to like, it's like one of the last tournaments.
Oh, it's always the last. It's always the last
okay.
one. NAIC.
Yeah,
that's the way they do it. So yeah.
And then when do locals finish up again?
June is the break for locals.
Okay, interesting.
So we have 2 months. So the what do you call it? The quarter is turning over on the in April.
Mm-hmm.
So we have April, May for all your local events to take place for this calendar year for Worlds qualification. And then June is a break, and starting in July, you can start earning points toward next year Worlds.
Ah, okay. I wonder why they do it like that.
I mean, maybe just give people a head start on the Worlds.
We'll get to.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll get to like season start, and I'll already have my 250 points.
Oh yeah.
Well, I told the story on the pod. Oh no, you saw the tweet. Yeah, so you saw the story of my first challenge. We had a cup the next week, and it was similar but with more people. So I'm currently 20-1 with local tournament games, and
games or matches,
like battles.
So you lost a battle.
I lost one battle to a guy who to the one experienced person that was there and had like the most RPS team. Like literally, I didn't have any safe swaps against him.
Dude, Australians love their RPS teams. From what I saw in these I think it was like PvP Steve or something was like, here's like a list of teams that have won like local events recently in Australia, and it was just like Basti, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? What are they doing down under? Everyone's got a Basti down there.
Everyone's got Basti. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know, all the monsters running around here. Like, yeah, it kind of speaks to our personality a little more.
Makes sense, yeah.
I mean, well, no, probably all the spider Pokemon would speak to our personalities a little more. Your Galvantulas, your Ariados's. Is
Basti's better than Skarmory. Because it has double weaknesses, so it's easier to counter.
Yeah, Skarmory ain't got no double weaknesses.
Yeah, Skarmory is just stupid.
Skarmory
has a better fast move and charge move than Basti too, so.
I was thinking of, you remember how I showed you that team? I was like, this is your team, but Skarmory instead of Red Steel, what do you think? I am now thinking, instead of Skarmory, putting Annihilate in there. And I haven't actually checked to see, like, what weaknesses there'd be.
Yo, what's up, Warrior J-Mac? Well, you're just even weaker to to Gligar, which is probably not a good
Gligar,
idea.
yes.
I mean, typically teams I tend to make are not necessarily weak to Gligar, but like people always bring Gligar versus me because I don't typically run Skarmory, and like if you're not running like Skarmory or like Dugong or something, then you're not really deterring people from, or maybe Azu, I guess you could potentially run, but even then, like people don't really care if you have an Azu, they'll bring Gligar.
Like, anyway.
It's not that bad for it. It's not like a Skarmory, right?
That's what makes Lyle so good. When people ask why is Lyle so good, it's like, well, he knows his Gligar matchups.
Apparently, yeah. Just like adding Skarmory to a team just like changes the whole dynamic, and like just like you're just weaker to Charge a Bug and all sorts of other stuff, and I just don't like the feel of it. So. Yo, what's up, Macho Man? Welcome in, Warrior J Mac, and SS Thorn. Obviously, we already said hi to you. Yeah, so I mean, it worked out for me for the most part. I didn't face that many Skarmory actually, but luckily, I faced 2 Skarmory in my tournament run, which is nice. Which was good for me, because. I wasn't like weak to Skarmory, but I definitely had some mons that could target, like
for sure.
Made my course a little more awkward.
So many of the teams I faced had Basti Dugong, which was just awful into my line because I had Gligar as well. Like 2 flyers, one being Skarmory, one being Gligar. Like I'm pressured to bench both, because if I get the Skarm locked in against Basti, if I get the Gligar locked in against Dugong, then I am boned. Couldn't spam Crest Gligar.
I didn't. I only use. It's funny because Crest Gligar was only used mainly against Motiques. Because he didn't really have a Skarmory, obviously, and also he didn't really have any other steel. Because like I faced teams without Skarmory, but they often had like a steel type, like another steel type. I faced 2 Alolan Sandslash. One was obviously Rubik's Master was Shadow Claw, and the other was Jay Branzy. It was Powder Snow. So. And then I faced 2 other teams I faced for Skarmory. So, yo, what's up for Amber?
Hey, Amber. J Mac, are you talking about Play Pokemon or Rainstorm Cup? Shadow Kyogre?
I'm assuming you're talking about Rainstorm Cup, but let me just tell you one thing. I have used Shadow Kyogre in Open Great League, and I do not recommend using it.
Really?
Dude, it's look at here it is. Rank 194.
What's its stat product?
1662.
Oh, no.
It's pretty glassy. It is kind of like a waterfall, fast move, damage kind of Pokemon, but I don't think I do not think I would be using it in this cup because typically I'm more of like a meta slave. So there seems like there's lots of good water types in the top, in the top here. So I'd probably just like stick to one of those water types over Kyogre.
Yeah,
I feel like Rainy Castform
10 minutes, so you want to get into it properly.
Sure, they're recommending here Tackle for Rainy Castform, which I think is interesting. But
I said,
what's up, Tuesday?
Tackle Rainy Castform.
Well, I guess there's a lot of types in this cup, but
I do like the idea of Rainy Castform. How does it do against Empoleon?
You got a bait, but says you can win with a bait here. And Tackle or Water Gun obviously doesn't change this matchup really. Thunder does 84% to a regular Empoleon and does 100. It one shots a shadow.
Yep.
So
I mean, with the water guns, you're still taking out the regular.
Yeah. Yes,
just
it
adding
is.
a quote. Hey, quote number 150.
Wow, you should feel special. You got a quote.
It's been added to the Pantheon. I mean, like, what does Castform not like?
Well, some of the other water types are just better than it. Probably.
Crazy Kid, hey.
Down here, number 34. Obviously, grass types. It seems like there's
How many grasses are there, though?
I mean, it looks like there's some razor leafers up in this bitch, as they say.
They do say that.
Okay, Pokemon with grass moves. Barbaracle, Tropius, Shiftry.
I do like Barbaracle. But I'd run with Stone Edge rather than Grass Knot.
Yeah, they're recommending Cross Shop Stone Edge here.
Because, like, you can hit so much of the meta for super effective with that combination of moves.
Tropius is ranked number 22 with a Razor Leaf Tropius. Shiftry, they're recommending Razor Leaf as well.
Wow. Why?
Nuzleaf Razor Leaf down here. Ludicolo Razor Leaf. Dartrix Razor Leaf. Lombre Razor Leaf. Oh, Meowscarda Leaf Edge. There you go.
So does anything resist Razor Leaf?
Yeah, there's
Cornyard?
like there's dragons too. Guzzlord's number 3.
Yeah, Guzzlord.
Altaria's number 15. Dragonite's here. And then you have like a pretty steep drop off. Hydreigon, Kingdra. Oh, Mandibuzz is eligible here. Ooh, number 7. Ooh, I just caught a really good ranked Mandibuzz today.
You?
I might have to bust that out. Yeah, because they're spawning in the wild right now, right?
Yeah. Which is
with the rocket event. Yeah, it's about about goddamn time, you know? How long have we been raiding? I've been trying to trade in Volibes with people, and they've all turned out.
That's how
they're all winning.
That's why he's the Vancouver champion.
This morning when I was going to work, they were not windy, so I don't know what else to tell you. You probably slept in or some shit. But yeah, in the afternoon, like they were all windy, like starting around noon, for sure. I got the pretty good one. I'm not allowed to share the IVs because Thorn, Thorn, he's spreadsheeting, so I don't want him to record my IVs.
So the first 2 Pokemon he recommends to pair with Empoleon is Quagsire and Feraligatr, which I don't know about that. Like, a Razor Leaper will have a pretty easy time against that core. Like, if you just shield the Drill Peck once, then you can cut your way through that. Air Slash Mandy from Captain Quad.
I don't think you want Air Slash. Why would you want Air Slash?
Because you're already beating the grasses with Snarl.
I think with the Air Release change, Air Slash is just better. Because now it just like spams those Air Releases so fast. Or sorry, Snarls better.
Yeah.
Spams the Air Releases so quickly, and then you can opt the Dark Pulse to like for some good damage.
It would be specifically better against your Darks.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many Dark types though. Like Guzzlord here, I doubt like Air Slash really changes that matchup that much. It's not a great matchup for Mandibuzz. But it's not horrible either, as you can see here. Now this is a default,
Shit.
Mandy. So keep in mind here, like if you. So the Guzzlord will have to throw. It looks like 3 Dragon Claws. You can't quite Dragon Tail down after the second one, or else the Mandibuzz will make another Aerial Ace, and then you will lose. So
that's with Snarl.
Yeah.
Does that change with Aerial Ace? So no, does that change with Air Slash?
It says here that Guzzlord still wins. Because it's slow, so even the Air Slashes plus this is the zeros, by the way. Looks like a rank 1 might be able to just barely win the 1 shield on 1 HP. Okay. And if they have a bad Guzzlord, maybe you can win with like 6-7 HP, so maybe you don't need a rank 1.
So you're saying Air Slash is better for that matchup specifically?
It allows you to win the 1s, but you still lose the 0s and the 2s. And with Snarl, you're losing all evens, but I mean, it's still a pretty close matchup.
A Holtz is asking if it is necessary to bring any grass at all.
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe is a good answer.
You heard it here first.
Honestly, I feel like Air Slash Tropius isn't that bad. Saying it's got a 13 and 16 rating with Razor Leaf. Air Slash has got a 14 and 17, so it's a slightly worse battle rating.
Here's my question: Walrein or Dugong? Because I feel like Ice is going to be pretty handy, with there being a lot of dragons around, and just in case someone brings you grass. They've both got the ground type move for the Empoleon, but Drurun won't exactly take out the Empoleon.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now Dugong looks pretty solid. Like let's say you pair Guzzlord together with a Quagsire or something. You would need something to deal with Dugong, which I guess that's the reason why Araquanid is here at number 19.
Yeah, so you might need Araquanid for that. And it would be good against your Darks as well. So it might be a good core breaker there. A-Holtz doesn't think any flyers are going to be viable either.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting meta. I definitely think there will be some utility for the flying, because if you go too heavy on water types and then your opponent does have a Razor Leafer, you might just find yourself in a bit of a pickle. So I definitely don't think it's a bad idea just to build out a balanced team, just in case just because it's on your team doesn't mean you have to use it every round, right? Just because it's on your team doesn't mean you ever have to use it. But sometimes it's there just to have in case of a situation, right?
In case of emergency.
Yeah. I mean, we already talked about Mandibuzz. Looks pretty good. It's a flying type. And, it has a pretty not good matchup with Dugong, but, it can hang in there,
Bisharp running Focus Blast. Anyone? Anyone?
Gyarados looked interesting too as a flying type. I kind of liked it because it's kind of like a hybrid between the dragon and like the flyers, right? So, and it has play against the ice types and some of the grass types. It actually, the regular Gyarados has pretty solid play against Empoleon.
That's good.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
if you see here, this is with a bait and landing a crunch, but I'm pretty sure you can just go straight crunch. And yeah, you will be able to get to 2 crunches. And this is even default, so
even though the Empoleon outpaces, doesn't it? Oh, you can just go straight Aqua Tail in the ones.
Well, that's what this one's saying, but I feel like you can crunch. It's the same thing. You crunch and you farm down, like you basically get the Dragon Breath down, they die with the move. So it might be like a DRE dependent or whatever they call it, like, you know?
Or just like, because obviously these sims take into account that both Pokemon are starting at the same time. Whereas, like, if you if they have one Steel Wing of energy or something, that's going to flip.
Yeah, but then potentially if they have a Steel Wing worth of energy, they possibly took a little bit of damage as well.
True.
Right?
So it's less time to farm them down.
And like, plus you also have to factor into that they could potentially also get a crunch debuff. Right?
Yeah.
And if they get a crunch debuff, then the crunch just knocks out. You can maybe even Aqua Tail, to be honest with you.
So the crunch debuff does cause the Dragon Breath to do extra damage? Because sometimes it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
They start doing 3 damage from 2.
Cool.
So the Steel Wings are doing 4 damage. The Dragon Breaths are doing 2. So you can see it's like very neutral there. And I think the thing going for Gyarados is that Crunch is actually like a decent move. And Jolpek sucks.
Yeah, that sounds like the play helps. And there's not much in the way of electric running around. Castform's going to be really probably the only one I can see using any sort of electric move, unless you're running Shadow Mightyena with Thunderfang. Or,
I mean, you never know.
Electric Gastrodon.
Yeah, you never know. In this, I think Alomomola also has Hidden Power Electric. Kyogre has Thunder, so you got to watch out for that too, because we were talking about that earlier. So yeah, basically not much electric. So really, the only main thing it has to fear is rock, right? So you do have Barbaracle with Stone Edge and the Fury Cutter spam.
Alright, I'm bringing my Guzzlord. All 3 battles.
I actually do have a Shadow Mightyena built for Great League.
No, I think I've got a high ranked one that I haven't built yet.
No, I built it long time ago.
And you've used it?
It's a rank 7. I used to use it in GBL for fun. Right now it has Fire Fang. They nerfed it though. They nerfed Poison Fang. So
Poison Fang, yeah.
It used to be better, and then they nerfed Poison Fang.
Oh, poor Mightyena.
I know. Yeah, so Barbaracle has Rock Move. Quagsire obviously going to be very popular. It does have Stone Edge, but again, it's like a baiting thing because their fast moves aren't doing anything, right? Relicanth has the Water Gun, Ancient Power combo.
Rufflet. It's an all-flying moveset. Unless you want to run Rock Tomb.
Rufflet?
Yeah, Captain Quad suggesting it in chat.
I don't think he would run Rock Tim.
Yeah. So Empoleon is going to wreck it. Same with Barbaracle.
Wreck what?
So Rufflet. Yeah, the Rufflet.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. For sure, the Empoleon
Picks up a few
is
cool
very...
ones.
Yeah, it's pretty good into the Mud Boys, the Grass types, some of the other water types, like the normal subtyping helps with like for Alligator and stuff like that, right? And Sableye, people are running that potentially.
Does BTW have a date for their Rainstorm Cup yet?
Let me see here if I can find anything. BTW.
In Pallet Town,
April
usually
17th.
April 17 for theirs. In Pallet Town, we usually set out for the second Saturday of the month. So what is that? That is the 13th. Yes.
I think we're starting it a little bit late, but I don't know.
Well, with like, you guys have 5 rounders, don't you? 3 days per round, 15 days. Hello, Ryan.
Yeah.
Can you fit Barbaracle and Quagsire on a team?
I mean, probably, but then you need to be really worried about grass types.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to leave your... That's the thing, is like you say, like, the grass types suck and don't run them. But then you run like four or 5 water types, and then you face a Tropius, and you can say GG and just, like, you know, not even play at the battle.
Yeah.
I ran into that issue, so last month in the... I'm not sure if you played any of the... What was it? Zodiac? So I ended up winning the BTW Zodiac.
I did.
But in the final round, I faced Quackman, and he had a Rapidash, and it was a holy shit. It was a pain to deal with. Literally, it was like I had to try to get my greed in on it. Like that was the only way I could deal with it. And like
it's good.
Then he starts flame charging, and I have nothing on my team that resists fire. And I'm like, I need to bring like Frostlass and stuff. So like, it was, yo, what's up, Zimmy Kid? Frostlass, Rapidash was not around. Milotic does exist, but I don't know. Milotic is always underwhelming to me. Like,
oh really? I always think Milotic overperforms. I was just thinking though, when you've got Milotic and Gyarados as 2 viable options, I think Gyarados is probably what you'd lean towards.
yeah, on a positive note, you're not getting one shot by Barbaracle like a Stone Edge.
Yeah, true.
Or something, but on the flip side, it is nice to have that like neutral damage from grass, just so you can kind of like add a flexible piece to your team.
Milotic loses to Guzzlord. Wow.
Not according to this.
Oh, it's just beating it in this sim. But still, like, that's not pretty.
That's the problem with Milotic, is it's like a dragon counter because it has Dragon Tail, but typically you're always throwing resisted charge moves. So is it really a dragon counter? Like,
but then so's Gyarados though. Gyarados is throwing resisted charge moves as well.
Yeah, but Gyarados is just better. It says here you do lose, so to be fair. Yeah, well, Guzzlord.
Interesting. So I am getting Gyarados winning the 1s and 2s.
Is that Shadow Gyarados?
That is regular.
Possibly there is a Dragon Breath breakpoint. Yeah, looks like there is. Oh, this is a rank 1 Gyarados. Okay, so that's important to note.
Yeah.
This here, you need to get at least 128.67 attack on your Gyarados.
So that's to get a break point against Guz.
Let me check my Gyarados, because I do like Gyarados, and if it's, I really like using Gyarados. I think it's fun. I'm playing another custom meta right now, where I'm also using Gyarados. So, anytime that it's eligible, I like to use it because I think it's a fun Pokemon. It's just like a nice Kanto Pokemon. I think I would lean towards the regular in this meta, but I'm not sure. To be honest with you.
Oh, well, Holds. Let's just look at Bombardier first.
And if anyone wants me to open any packs, just let me know. I can do a pack opening if we need a quick break.
Oh, we get a Lyle pack opening. Let's go.
Let me check my Gyarados IVs and see what attack I got. 214.9 is one of my Gyaradoses. So it's a 129.6 attack. So that looks like that one should have no problem beating Guzzlord. Although, if you see here, it's a CMP, right? So if they are up like even one half a turn, you know, like then they're gonna outpace you. So like if you counter swap a Gyarados into a Guzzlord, you're gonna have to double shield if you want to keep alignment, right?
So neither Milotic or Gyarados is actually that great against Guz.
Yeah, Guzzlord's really good, I think. Is there any fairy types?
Ooh.
What resists? There's no fairy at all. Steel.
Steals.
You just have Empoleon, which we've already just shown is Gyarados actually does decent into Empoleon, right?
Yeah.
And then Poniard, which I'm assuming Gyarados does fine into Poniard too, because Poniard kind of sucks. No offense.
Oh, Lyle.
Look at that. Regular Gyarados beats Poniard. You just get the 2 Aqua Tails and you Dragon Breath down. Oh no, it says Poniard wins. What? Oh, Shadow Gyarados. I'm looking at the wrong way. Shadow Gyarados beats Poniard because the second Aqua Tail KOs. Maybe you do just want the Shadow Gyarados just for that extra fast move damage.
Well, it is ranked higher.
Thorn brought a Shadow Gyarados to Vancouver Regional.
And look at where that got him.
He played really poorly, to be fair.
Crunch does slap pretty.
He's only 16. We're gonna cut him some slack, okay? Let's not be too mean to the children here.
Ryan says Guzzy. He wishes Guzzy had harder hitting charge moves. I think that would break Guzzlord a bit too much. I think it's perfect the way it is. Because like
Blob.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I was just gonna say this is the next Devon meta, so which he didn't participate last month, so he should definitely build a team for this one. Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna grab some of the drink.
Yeah, sure. All right, so we're looking further into Bombardier here. That Quad, where were you getting this win rate? I'm getting a win rate of 10 and 21 in the 1 shields against the meta. Hey, Sosa. Not hard enough to kill the Cresselias. Does the Moonblast one-shot the Guz, or does it just survive? A-Rat can beat Guzzlord, yes. Yes, make Guzzy OP. Oh, okay, Sosa's got some spice. Lay it on us. I love some chili. Oh, for sure. Well, we were discussing that earlier, Blob. You've got Dugong as an option, but there's also Walrein. And so I'm not actually sure which would be the better. Maybe just put both on your team, because there don't seem to be any... Like, I don't think there's really any hard counters to either of those Pokemon. Like, you've got Empoleon that can beat them both comfortably with shields up. But other than that, I don't think there's anything really terrifying Walrein or Dugong. Unless you were going to run a Shadow Omastar. You do have to worry about the Stone Edge.
I powered up my Almost Star for Ultra Lead.
Unlucky.
I don't know. Let's see if I have another one I can build for Great League.
Got to be Shadow. And it's
So then I got to do my Rocket
Rock Slide.
My Ultra League one does have Rock Slide.
Have you looked into Charmbrion and Masquerada? Says Sosaflow.
Masquerada looks like ass. I did look at it earlier. And Charmbrion? What the fuck's that? Is this some sort of Charmers bullshit?
I mean, with all the dragons around.
Okay, I'm gonna put a Tentacruel on my team. You bring that if you want, Sosa.
Up comes Mighty Yenna again.
Dude, the problem with those Charmers is they're not fairy types. Like, I swear to God, you like their matchup in Altaria probably is like way worse than you think it should be.
Rayquaza could work. Could you check Rayquaza for Sosa since I figured he might want to use it? Currently running Gussie in Ultra League and it makes me cry. Alright, so where's where's Rayquaza at? It's at number 97, Dragon Tail, Breaking Swipe, and Dragon Ascent. Dragon Ascent is like 700 energy, isn't it? 1522 stat product.
Oh, there is a Shadow Charmer too. There's a Lipard. Keep that in mind.
Is the dark typing better than the water typing here?
Dude, look at that. It goes to 558 battle rating. With Charm. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at this battle rating. This is a Shadow Charmer against an Altaria.
What about in the twos? How does it go against the meta in the twos?
It's a 20 and 11. Not horrible. I just would rather spend my shields on a Shadow Gyarados than a Shadow Lipard.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting anything out of that. Like, you're going to come out with like 1.5 Dark Pulses. Like, at least with the Gyarados, those Aqua Tails, like, are going to chunk things. And that's the other thing, too, is, like, sure, the Charmers threaten, like, some of the dragons, but do they threaten, like, Gyarados? Umbreon's apparently rank 18, which is interesting. And if you look here, Umbreon, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Umbreon's just better than Mandibuzz.
How so?
Because
it's
it's
not weak to wall
not weak to ice.
Yeah.
And like, look at here, you do fine in Empoleon, Quagsire, Pelipper.
Yeah, I
you
like
lose
Umbreon because of its neutral wins. It gets a lot of good neutral wins.
Yeah, it's like pretty neutral across the meta. I mean, you're losing to. It says here you lose to Feraligatr, which is kind of nuts. I bet you the rank 1 doesn't lose to Feraligatr, though. Is this the rank 1? No. Who the frig would not run? Who's running not a rank 1 Umbreon? Okay, here we go. Perfect.
My OCIC Umbreon was rank 15.
I have my play Pokemon Umbreon is a rank 1 shiny.
That's baller.
Get it. Got me second place in a regional.
Yeah, nice.
Fortunately, not good enough for first.
Yes,
I had to bench it.
A-Holtz has been talking about this one for a while. Alolan Raticate has been doing very well in Go Battle League with Alolan Raticate.
Yeah, it's just not as... I don't think... It's still good, but like, yeah, as you can see here, like, because of its fast move, quick attack, and it's not quite as bulky. It's still bulky, but...
2000 is bulky. Like, how much more do you want?
Yeah, it's got a pros and cons. Like this would have better, but it's also like you gotta remember this Pokemon, like the way they have it set up, it's kind of a bit of a sim hero. Like, see this shit? Like, this is like a bait nuke Pokemon with quick crunch return, right?
Okay, so show us the sim against the meta with and without baiting.
Okay, this is with selective baiting. It's a 15, 15, and 1. If you turn baiting off, it's a 8, 22, and 1. So it's a lot of it is required on landing like a nuke. Which is the only thing, that's the only problem I have with it. Whereas like Umbreon, you could say like, oh, it's not beating as many things or whatever, but it's also going to be much more consistent, right? You're not like baiting a lot. It's just basically like a bulk machine, right?
And what I say to that is, ¿por qué no los dos?
What?
Okay, come on, you know that saying, Lau.
Is Dark Pulse better? Let me check here. No, it doesn't look like it.
That's how
okay, I'm working on my team right now. Thanks, Fish. Oh, by the way, I took a lot of the notes we did from last month's meta. I just went like basically I just invested like 2 shields into my Frostlass almost every game. I went like degen.
Yeah.
And like people were saving shields for their. Right? Yeah, I was just triple axling through like Greedents, Jump Bluffs, Excadrills. Ultra League meta? We're not doing an Ultra League one, I don't think, right now.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, is that what we're doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or JMax said he used Rapidash
9 p.m. Eastern.
I did not actually build a Rapidash on my team, and I faced one, and I almost got destroyed by it, so... Actually, you know what my 3 most used Pokemon from that meta we'll just briefly discuss, was Greedent, Shadow Frostlass, and Malamar. Actually.
Oh, the Malamar, yeah. I got fucking wrecked by Riblet and his Malamar. Like, I just had no play around it.
Yeah, Malamar was sick because like everyone had like Greedent and Excadrill and Frostlass and stuff. And like Quag, Dewgong, okay, build around Quag, Dewgong, do whatever you want. I'm bringing Umbreon.
Umbreon beats both, doesn't it? And Alolan and Raticate would beat both, right? Actually, let's just go to single battle. Dewgong. Nah. Okay, Raticate's winning the 0s and 2s. But of course, you're getting 2 shields from the crunches in the 2 shields.
Yo, shut the fuck up, Blob. I'll kill you. I'm gonna get off my foul play first. Blob thinks he's hot shit now because he got top 8. He's trying to dunk on me.
He's like that that meme of that guy like celebrating and then it zooms out and he's 3rd place.
It's interesting. Gligar is also in this meta, but it seems like there's so much ice types. It's like ranked kind of low, but it could kind of be interesting too.
No, that's alternatives.
Oh, we kind of could in KJ. Well, that's good to know. Frey Amber, yeah, like it's spawning right now, so now's a good time to save up one. Try to get a good Mandibuzz if you can. Try to get a good Malamar, because Malamar is definitely very useful. in a lot of these custom metas. I don't know if it's eligible here. It is. It's a little bit lower ranked, but probably still has some play.
Shadow Gligar? I don't know. So many ice types around.
Yeah, but there's also not a lot of stuff that resists flying.
Yeah.
So,
But like Empoleon's going to be everywhere.
which you can one shot with a dig.
So it does one shot?
From a shadow?
Yeah.
Probably.
Superpower could be nice.
Yeah, the superpower could be nice. The one thing I'm looking at with Gligar, it has like a 900 battle rating against Barbarical.
Wow. Wow.
And Barbarical looks pretty good. And looks kind of annoying. So I wouldn't mind having something on the team that does pretty well into Barbarical, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm running...
Plus, in case... Go ahead.
I'm running Empoleon double ice at the moment, and Gyarados. So, bring your Glygars.
Gligar's not that bad in the Gyarados.
Isn't it?
Surely. You outpace it, and you spam the shit out of it. I mean, it's not like your Waterfall Gyarados.
So, can you comfortably tank an Aerial Ace?
I bet you like a regular could, but the Shadow, they most likely would probably want a shield.
So it says, do you think Charizard would play well with the main water being Empoleon? It has a good hitting move. Do you think it could sneak through and play? So if grasses were a little better, then I'd probably say, yeah, Charizard could have play. But my guess is no.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's ranked kind of low, but it like really does well into Empoleon.
I imagine it would do better with one wing attack energy leads, because then you can like CAP with the first charge attack.
Okay, I'm working on a team right now. I'm working on a really good team.
So Ryan, the Aerial Aces, I assume we're still talking about the Gary and Gligar matchup. The Aerial Aces do come faster than Aquatail by 2 turns, so that's what I'm wondering is like the Gligar would have to shield an Aquatail, whereas I don't think Gyarados has to shield the first Aerial Ace, which makes that a lot more comfortable for Gyarados, I think.
We're talking Shadow or regular Gyarados?
Good question.
Because Gligar's not even on the top meta here, but honestly, like, if you build your team around, like, I'm thinking, like, if you build a team with Gligar, like, a good pair with it would be, like, Araquanid. You know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Because then you really can scare those, like, Dugongs and stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, you lose a Shadow Gligar as a Shadow Gyarados. You only win the 0s and the 2s. The 2s, you just... You can try to Dragon Breath your way through it, basically.
Holtz, I think if you're bringing Gligar, I think Empoleon's the better option there, because, like, your biggest threat is the ices rather than than opposing water.
Yeah, so regular Gyarados wins the 0s and the 1s against Shadow Gligar, but loses the 2s.
Yeah. Interesting.
So if you bring Gligar, you kind of need Grass. I don't think so. I think I honestly think that Araquanid is better because it completely walls.
Yeah.
It completely walls the like all the ice types basically in the meta.
Yep.
And it also beats the Mud Boys. Other than, I guess, Quagsire could be kind of annoying. But then again, if they're running Mud Bomb, Stone Edge, then Gligar probably does fine into it, right?
But then a problem with the Gligar, I reckon it'd call would be Empoleon. Like you'd have to land
I guarantee you that Empoleon, that the, like I said, the Empoleon matchup with Gligar is probably a little bit sort of like
it's finicky. Like you got to finesse it.
Yeah. So a dig does 90.9% from a Shadow Gligar to a regular Empoleon. To Shadow Empoleon does 105%.
How much does Hydro Cannon do?
Oh, Hydro Cannon does 76% to a Shadow.
Okay.
So it says here you can win the twos with a double bait. Okay, so that's something. Or let's say you get 2 wing attack advantage, right? Then you win all evens.
I'm just saying it's not favorable for Gligar. Like if you're bringing a Gligar,
no, but I'm saying if with 2 wing attack advantage, like on a switch, you'd say you win the zeros.
Mm-hmm.
You make it to a dig before they. So that's all I'm saying. It's not something you'd necessarily want to be in, but it's I think it's a flexible Pokemon that has ways of taking out Pokemon that counter it, right?
I would still want to make sure I've got other harder counters to Empoleon.
Yeah, that's what Umbreon and Gyarados are for.
I mean, Gyarados isn't a hard counter.
Does
Umbreon maybe
beat Umbreon? It's like a very close matchup.
Yeah, are there many hard counters to Empoleon? Just like Quagsire.
I think it's just Quagsire. Yeah. I literally think it's just Quagsire.
Yeah, so that's where it comes back to the RPS-ness that you were talking about.
And Charizard, he's saying Charizard looks pretty...
yeah. So can you sim Empoleon versus Charizard, giving Charizard you're doing something else, I'll do it.
I just want to see what in the meta is like bad, like actually really strong. And so the best counter to Empoleon is Quagsire. According to this, the second best counter is Darkrai.
Yeah, forget about that.
That's impossible to get. So this Darkrai is 4200 CP. How the fuck did it get in here?
What are you doing here, Darkrai?
Like, did I just sim this in Master League or something?
Get out of here. This isn't your meta.
Like how is this level 50 Darkrai or level 40 Darkrai here? So yeah, Marshtomp, Charizard, Houndoom apparently, Croc. Doesn't look like there's a lot of good counters. Jellicent is a pretty solid counter to it. Now that's a real
to Empoleon.
So it seems like a lot of the counters are water types.
Yeah.
Jellicent is really good because the drill packs don't really do much. And the hexes and shadow balls just kind of add up. Although Jellicent seems super RPS in this meta.
Yeah, like you get it locked in against a Guzzlord. You are boned.
Okay, maybe Quagsire is the way then. You need a Quagsire as well on your team. Are we going to run Shadow? Why not? Triple Shadow team, right? What's wrong with that?
Okay, yeah, so with 1 wing attack lead, Charizard is beating Empoleon very comfortably, just going straight Blast Burn.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the case without an energy. No. Without the wing attack,
you have to bait.
You do have to bait. But that actually, like, I'm starting to get a real good feeling about Charizard. Because, like, if you switch that in, like maybe Empoleon's going to be people's best counter for it. Like
there could be a lot of
rainy cast form or something,
or like a rock
Barracle.
thrower.
Yeah,
There are rock throwers in the meta. Like you never know what people want to run. Like they could run Amistar with rock throw. They could run Shadow Aerodactyl. They could run T-Tar if they really want to. You got to be prepared for everything. I'm just saying, when you're building a team, you should make sure you're not too weak to that stuff, because you don't want to get run over by someone like in the first round who doesn't know about the meta, but just has like a perfect rock thrower on their team.
Man, you're like really keen to shoot that idea down, aren't you?
What?
Oh yeah, Charizard's great and all, but like maybe your opponent has Rockthrow Omastar.
No, I'm just saying make sure you build your team out.
Right. Empoleon, Guzzlord, Zweilous, double Dark Dragon. Shadow Aerodactyl with Steel Wing. No, no, definitely not. Like, look at these top Pokemon. Empoleon's gonna crush it. Guzzlord may be a little more even, but probably gonna be Guzzlord. Walrein will crush it. Dugong will crush it.
Is Walrein better than Dugong?
Well, yeah, that I don't think we have a proper answer yet.
It's like the Earthquake is better damage for you. You technically can beat Empoleon, but I think Dugong might do better in the Shadow Empoleon. Like the thing is, Dugong doesn't one-hit Empoleon, but you're also much more likely to land a Drill Run with an Empoleon with a Dugong, just because it doesn't KO. It's a little less bait dependent and such.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty close matchup with the Shadow. Very close. Okay, so I built a team to test. I don't know if it's good, but there's a lot of water types. Okay, here's the team I built to test out.
Oh, you do have the Shadow Gligar.
Yeah, Shadow Gary, Shadow Gligar, Shadow Quag, Araquanid, Umbreon, Dugong.
Would you consider Zard instead of Gligar?
Yeah, you could consider Zard. Gligar does help with that Barbaracle, but because you would be technically 3-4 Pokemon weak to Rock if you Dugong, Araquanid, and Gyarados are all weak to Rock, right? So let's say you did run into a T-Tar or something, or Shadow Tyranitar.
Yeah, fair. Rock throw.
I guess the rock.
That's what we're learning.
Yeah, throw rocks and you'll be fine. I think this team could be pretty decent. You could probably run Umbreon, like Guzzlord instead of Umbreon, maybe. Can change some pieces around. It is a lot of water, but again, the only thing you really have to worry about is that Mighty Hyena, which Quagsire and Gligar would absolutely destroy. And I honestly don't think like Dugong and Araquanid would be that bad. Like Araquanid is probably fine into that thing, Into
Jellicent? No.
Into Mighty Hyena.
Put Thunderfang.
Jellicent, you have. I mean, it would be a little annoying to deal with, but like Quagsire does fine, Gyarados does fine, and obviously you have like the hard check in Umbreon, so they would really have to try to avoid your Umbreon.
Kabutops, anyone?
Yeah, so basically, as you see here, Araquanid just beats Thunderfang Mighty Hyena, Shadow Mighty Hyena easily.
Yeah, right, because it's also dealing back super effective.
Yeah, and
I
you're
did forget
debuffing
that.
them. You just debuff them,
Yeah.
and then you just bite them, bug bite them down.
So even without baiting, it looks like Walrein does have the upper hand against Dugong.
I like Dugong better, I think, because again,
Yeah.
it's also you have the ability to debuff.
How is Dugong not on the meta list?
That is a good question.
Don't have the dust for Araquanid. Yeah, well, I mean it's not essential.
It's not necessary. Yeah, it's not essential. I mean, I've had an Araquanid built for quite a while. Fish obviously remembers the Araquanid days back in the play Pokemon Araquanid days when it first came out.
Yeah.
So
Brought it to my first ever play Pokemon tournament.
yeah, I actually never brought it to a play Pokemon tournament, but Walrein was all the rage back then, right? So yeah, the rock types do seem interesting, but you can get like a similar, like you do have rock coverage with Quagsire, right? So yeah, 1 second, I'll be right back.
What is a counter for Quagsire that isn't grass? Is my next question. Sorry, yeah, Ryan, you have been bringing up Seeking a fair bit. Seeking beats Dugong. Does it beat Walrein? Hey, Billy. Gligar beats Quagsire?
Yeah, because they're not running the water. They're not running Aqua Tail.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought that Stone Edge was pretty damaging. Oh, Guzzlord is a Quagsire counter as well.
You definitely want Mud Bomb, and you definitely want Stone Edge in this meta, I think.
Waterfall and Polion. Alright, just for the sake of being thorough.
You definitely do not Waterfall.
Just to be thorough.
I doubt Seeking beats Shadow Quagsire.
Yeah, I would probably agree. That's with baiting off. Yeah.
Seeking loses. Oh, but they have to land a Stone Edge.
So, you can run Waterfall on your Empoleon to beat other Empoleon. But then you'll be giving up everything else in the meta.
Yeah, you just lose to literally everything that it actually beats. It looks like you can just go straight Mud Bomb as a Shadow Quagsire. Seeking does beat the regular Quag. Oh, that's without it. No, Seeking loses. I don't know. Yeah, Seeking's interesting.
Yeah, Seeking has a 14-17 record against the meta. Losing to Tentacruel. We haven't looked too much into Tentacruel yet. Probably because of the threat of that Empoleon. It's just going to be bloody everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, the Skull's actually hurt. The Empoleon, you are resisting the fast move.
Oh, Seeking loses to Eradicate.
Mm-hmm. Everyone might have like a shadow tentacruel to use now as well, right?
Have we established whether normal or shadow penguin is better?
Well, they're ranked 1 and 2, so I think it would, maybe just check some of the key matchup differences and see.
Tell you what, so I know we're jumping around a bit. I might do that sim.
That one seems more important than waterfall or not, in my opinion.
Gligar beats Imp with 2 wing attack lead. That's good to know.
Or any shield advantage, right? If you can ever get a shield advantage. Shield advantage Gligar is really strong. Especially if you can try to like minimize their ice types. I guess Walrun's better into Dugong than Dugong is into Walrun, right?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Because does, for example, an icy wind from Dugong allow you to survive an extra earthquake?
I'm not sure.
Who outpaces to the charge moves? We got Dugong gets there in 15 and then 12 turns. And Walrein gets there in 18 and then 16. So Dugong's outpacing.
Dude, Omastar looks crazy. Is it just me?
At the moment, yes. But we can be convinced.
Oh, it gets clapped by Quagsire, right? Yeah, makes sense.
100%. And Empoleon.
And Gligar. Oh, its matchup with Gligar is really bad. Holy shit. Oh, because they're not throwing the Rock Slide?
What if you get through a Hydro Pump?
It's honestly not that bad. Rock Slide does 56%. It does no Water Gun. But then it's much slower.
Can you quickly check whether regular Gligar still beats the Empoleon with the 2 extra wing attacks?
Yeah, I would say the ice types, it's definitely scary for it, Billy, but the water types are not necessarily dealing water type fast damage, right?
Yeah.
So it would be really just about shields and energy management. The ice types are the scariest things, but that's why I was saying earlier, I think it pairs pretty well with Araquanid. So you could really have a hard wall to those things. What am I looking at? The regular Gligar?
Regular Gligar against Empoleon. So you said Shadow Gligar can beat Empoleon with 2 wing attacks energy lead?
Who runs regular Gligar?
Freya Amber does not have Shadow.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Freya. Yeah, you can still beat Empoleon with a regular.
Yeah, cool.
It does a 73%, and the wing attacks are all doing a 2%, so you do unfortunately lose the zeros, which the Shadow won. Yeah, I believe Mantine is banned.
Yep.
Well, now's a good time to hopefully you can find a nice flying rocket and get any sort of Shadow Gligar as well if you want. The one I've been using is from a raid, actually.
I am also Shadow Gligarless. Now Pidgey's in the pool.
Yeah, I did catch a couple of Pidgeys today.
Nice. Well, this is
Caught one
interesting.
that's okay ranked.
Shadow Empoleon loses to Shadow Dragonite, just throwing straight Dragon Claw. But that is rank 1. I don't know who has a Shadow rank 1 Dragonite.
I don't.
I've got 6.
Okay.
Says here regular Empoleon is beating Shadow Empoleon. No, Shadow beats the regular. You can't hear the music there. I don't know if the music's loud enough for people to be able to hear, but I'm hearing like some elevator music. Some like you're on hold music. Ooh, Shadow Empoleon beats Guzzlord, where regular doesn't.
Yeah, the Shadows hits pretty hard. Those Steel Wings. I mean, it's a relative. Like, bad is, you know. Bad is a relative term, I would say.
Oh, snap. Shadow beating the... Oh, come on. Come on, PB Poke. Oh, this is Aquatail.
Yeah. Surely it beats the Aquatail.
I was gonna say.
Aquatail Stone Edge? Why are there 2 Aquatail Stone
I
Edges
don't
once
know.
there? That is weird.
Shadow ties against Razor Leaf Tropius.
You lose the Umbreon, though.
Ooh. Oh, man, this is a tough choice.
You beat Walrein much better, probably because you KO with the Drill Peck and the Steel Wings.
Neutralize, hey. Welcome. Look, I'm probably leaning towards the Shadow.
I could see that.
Because, like, even the losses to Umbreon and Mandibuzz are very narrow. And, like, yeah, your wins are very narrow with the regular as well.
Right.
Hey, the resub. Razor Leaf Tropius versus what? Oh, versus Air Slash.
Dude, I really hope I don't face a Razor Leaf Tropius.
I mean, it might be an option if people are running, like, quintuple water.
Like my team?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's, like, comparable. That's a comparable win rate. So, Razor Leaf helps you beat the 2 Empoleons, the 2 for Alligators and Seeking. You're losing to Dragonite, Jumpluff, and... opposing Tropius, or that's... ignore that one. Whoops. Yeah, Umbreon even has, like, advantages over Guzzlord, like not being weak to Walrein, for example. So yeah, Umbreon's certainly good. Like, Umbreon is, like, a fantastic neutral option. Yeah, we haven't looked at Jumpluff yet, so we will take a look at that after we are done looking at the Tropius here. How many people are going to bring Dragonite? I don't think that'll be super popular.
Yeah, my team I think is too weak to Razor Leaf.
It's that same thing you were saying before, right? You get that one person who's brave enough to bring Razor Leaf, and it's like, well, Vesper Queen beats all the Darks.
I could probably play around it, but
Air Slash will beat Jump Bluff. You do need Razor Leaf for Seeking.
yeah, this meta seems very weird. Maybe Charizard isn't that bad, but it's like there's a lot of things that wall it too, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Quagsire and Barbaracle. Trouble with Vesper Queen is same as I forget which other Pokemon we were talking about, but like all the top Pokemon counter it. So when Polygon counters it, Walrein counters it, Dugong would counter it.
It beats Guzzlord.
It does beat Guzzlord very comfortably. Mandibuzz would beat it. Barbaracle would beat it. Everyone's liking Vesper. Alright, you will bring your Vesper Queens. Good luck. Look, how many of these Pokemon would beat Vesper Queen? Empoleon. So, okay, let's count them out. We've got one win for Vesper Queen here. 2 wins. I don't know about for Alligator. Call that 2.5. 3, 4. 5, I'll say. That's 5 in the top 20. It does not beat Man. Shut up. No way.
What?
Ahods is saying Vesper Queen beats Mandibuzz.
I doubt it.
Get out of here. What even is that?
Yeah, it says it does, but also
It is baiting with a Nexus, which is unrealistic.
Man. Yeah,
Power Gem is not cracked.
To land.
It does 32%.
Okay, if it's a high rank Mandibuzz, you have to land. You have to land 2 power gems. It's pretty bulky. Looks like it's a snark. BN Vespa, but looks like double power gem KOs the Mandy. Pretty interesting.
So without baiting, it wins 0s, but it does need baiting for the 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even if we gave you that one, which I wouldn't, but just to make the point, like that's still 6 out of 20 that it's beating. And then the other Other 14 Pokemon are hard countering it. Yeah, he ain't beating no Walrein. And Polygon's gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, I really have no idea now what to do for this thing, this meta.
So if I were to swap out my Dugong for a Gligar, I'll go Shadow. Oh, there's the A for coverage. Seeking is a problem. So is Walrein.
Yeah, I mean the team had a good ranking, so maybe it's fine. Its potential threats are Tropius. I mean, but Gyarados is like playable there.
It's never gonna happen because I'm gonna just shield wing attack you down.
Yeah, that's always so you guys got to be very careful with those scenarios because like I see this all the time in like Battle Frontier 2 where my opponent I'll say something to my teammate like I think we're a little weak to like this Pokemon. I'm not sure exactly I like this team. And they'll be like, no. You see, like my Snorlax has a positive matchup in the ones against Sudowoodo. And then I always tell them, well, you see, they double shield, and then they will have a full health Pokemon with a shit ton of energy, and you will get clapped. So your opponent's not going to be nice to you and be like, it's okay.
Play out the ones.
We'll just play at the ones. you won. You won the ones, so good on you. Like typically, like even like I think like a double shielding can be very valuable at times. Are you gonna Fury Cutter farm down a Shadow Charizard? If you do, please submit the video.
Well, if you do that, I'll put that on the Pallet Town TikTok and Instagram channels. That'll be the returning Pallet Town PvP play of the day. Oh man, that's a tough question, Billy. Probably Jumpluff. Oh, we haven't actually gotten to Jumpluff yet, to be honest. But it is double weak to ice. I mean, the only grass that's not weak to ice is Ludicolo.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, personally, I'm probably not going to put a grass type on my team, but
maybe I will just to punish some people who don't team build properly. It could be bench pressure. Dartrix is a Razor Leaper as well, and it is weak to ice.
Yeah, it is.
And it's squishy. I don't want to hear that, Holtz. Our pleasure. What about Shadow versus regular War Rain? Shadow versus regular War Rain? Is there a difference there? The regular is picking up a few big ones that the Shadow doesn't.
No one says yes to use Umbreon. You can do whatever you want.
I like Umbreon. Yeah, it's boring, but it's consistent. And like I said earlier in the stream, like the neutral wins are one of my favorite things. Like, I don't think there's many things that pick up more neutral wins against meta things than Umbreon.
Yeah.
We have not talked about Altaria, actually.
I looked at it and decided I didn't want to use it.
No, really? Because I mean, it would be the same thing. It would lose to a whole bunch of those top Pokemon. It would lose to your Empoleon. You would lose to Guzzlord. You'd lose to Walrein, Dugong.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but I don't know. It's interesting for sure. I would love to know like their thought processing behind this meta and what they thought was going to be like good.
Do they have a? Do they do a like a dev notes thing like Silph used to do?
No idea. I have no clue.
I thought I heard him mention something about that on like the Devon website. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, it looks like regular Walrein is the way to go over Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Celio would beat both, yes. And it, like, with the power of Powder Snow, it is doing a lot of those icy things that you need your ice user to do. For sure, Blob. So, this team's looking interesting. Like, it has the, you know, your standard 2 counters for everything. But then, like, you got 2 Pokemon that are double weak to ice. So if your opponent's got a Walrein, then, like...
I think Tropius can just farm through it, but...
Oh, really? Surely not.
Mm-hmm. Seeking does look interesting. I'll build the second team. One team with Umbreon, another team with Guzzlord. I do like Guzzlord too, but the only issue is it's also weak to ice, right? So it's like it becomes harder to like team build and stuff when everything you want to put on a team is weak to ice, right?
Yes, I agree. So that's why I'm thinking Gyarados over Guzzlord, A-Holtz, but why aren't you convinced?
Well, because that will actually give you some coverage against the elements, better coverage against like grass and like grass, mainly grass. It's the only thing I'd be worried about.
So what's the best two Pokemon core we can find?
I don't know.
There was your Gligar Araquanid core.
Well, that was just my head. I don't know if that's a good core, but
I mean, it seems alright. Apart from like it's difficult into Empoleon. Amber's thinking Gyarados. I reckon Barbarical would beat both of those. No. What about Shadow Empoleon with Guzzlord?
yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Oh, right.
As my second team.
And what were the Pokemon that could beat both of those? Under the potential threats?
Some of the ice types and stuff.
Well, there was only two in the potential threats: Pelipper and Staraptor.
I wouldn't be too worried about it.
About those threats.
Yeah, Pelipper seems okay, but it's not gonna like one-shot your team or anything.
With no electric around, and the Matrix I did before showed Pelipper beating Shadow Walrein as well. Pelipper could be alright. But then, like, if you're going to use a Water Flyer, maybe just use Gyarados.
Maybe, yeah. Pelipper would be annoying for my last team that I made. Then again, you have Dugong, you have Gyarados, you have Umbreon. Pelipper is better into Gligar than other Water Flyers because of the spamminess of it, right?
Yep.
So you have that going for you.
Oops. I feel like if you're gonna run Celio, you might want Aurora Beam here instead of Water Pulse, right?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Just to make sure you can, like, Powder Snow might not be enough to farm down a dragon or something. And, like, Aurora Beam is a terrible move, but it's, like, in Great League, there are certainly some situations where, like, you let it go and it just wrecks your team.
Mm-hmm.
Regular Celio beats Araquanid.
Mm-hmm.
Only the regular War Rain can beat Napoleon, and that would have to be bait dependent, right? No. You're winning the one straight Earthquake. Take baiting off.
Yeah, there's not really much fighting damage in this cup, so
It is a decent list. Celio beats for Alligator, where the other two don't. Oh, here we go. Quagsire. That's a big one. No, I turned it off. Well, I turned it off for our Pokemon. Whoops.
yeah, I don't know about this meta. It's giving me a headache. It's gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna run the first friggin' team I built. I don't give a shit.
Beat Seeking.
Seems mostly okay. I'm just gonna have to deal with a Razor Leafer if I face one. Other than that, I think that other team's good. I'll just outskill the Razor Leafer. Surely I can do that, right? The tappers.
I'm sure there's other ways you can win. Okay, so A-Holes, you want me to turn opponent baiting off, right? I thought OP meant optional. I mean, it's good. That Quagsire is a big one. Losing a Tropius, so you've got to have the Shadow to beat Tropius. That's a bit concerning. You're beating War Rain. There's just so much that resists water in this meta. Like, it's definitely a better move.
Well, you might need a Water Pulse like an Apollyon or something.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'd probably guess Body Slam is a higher DPE than Water Pulse.
Stab Water Pulse?
Body Slam is 0.65, Water Pulse is also 0.65.
So, they're the same, but it does more damage if you need that extra, like... Oh.
Yeah, or you could just have Aurora Beam and, like, be able to one-shot those dragons. I don't know what that's referencing, Billy. But yes, Lyle's head is very sweaty. Oh, I would say so, surely.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. You better watch out, buddy.
Alright, let's, here's what I'll do. I'll Matrix Celio with Water Pulse and Celio with Aurora Beam versus the viable dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna make it the The ones or the zeros? Let's just go the ones for now, I guess. So what have we got? Guz. So wireless. Dragonite. Altaria. What else?
You did not miss much there, Amber. We're like slowly wrapping some stuff up here.
Tying up some loose ends. So against Dragonite, it looks like you're probably just going Powder Snow Body Slam. But everything else you're improved with Aurora Beam. And that's in the ones. Like, I imagine it's so much better in the zeros. Yep, slightly better if you don't bait. But that's what we were saying though, right? Like, if they shield the beam, you just lose. How much more energy is Aurora Beam than... Like, it's only 10 more energy, isn't it? Or even 5?
I have no idea.
5 more energy. I'm pretty sure Aurora Beam's 60. Was Water Pulse dropped to 55 or 50?
I believe it's 55.
Yeah, so 5 more energy. That's 1 Powder Snow.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing with Water Pulse, like, you're never going to throw a Water Pulse against the dragons, right? So you're just relying on Body Slam, which you've got the Body Slam anyway, if that's what you want to do. Like, so I don't think the baiting is even a factor against the dragons specifically. So maybe Celio... Maybe you could have Walrein and Celio on your team specifically to beat the other Walreins. Well, that's what I'm saying, A-Hole. It's like, if you're running Aurora Beam, you've still got the Body Slam. So, like, by putting Aurora Beam on your Pokemon instead of Water Pulse, you're not forced to choose between throwing Aurora Beam or Body Slam at your opposing dragons, right? You still get to throw. If you're worried about them shielding the Aurora, if you're worried about reaching for that move and them shielding, you can just throw straight Body Slams. But if they're out of shields, then you've got that Aurora Beam to reach for. Or if you think you can, get it through unshielded.
Seems like there's quite a few options, at least in the meta, is like one positive thing I will say. Seems like you could go a lot of different ways team building, where as last month's meta seemed like a lot of people had very similar teams.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see how everything shakes out, but it does seem like there is some options here at least. So
yeah. All right. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's. So the for those who want to check out the Ultra League Premier breakdown, that is happening tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern US time. Work that out in your own time zones. Thank you, Lyle, once again.
Thank you so much for having me. Who are you rating?
Working that out now.
You rating Thorn?
Is Thorn streaming?
Yes.
I didn't know Thorn streams. I don't actually follow him at the moment.
He just started streaming.
Let's go. All right. Yeah, sure. Essence Thorn. There you go. All right. I'm gonna jump on that.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for coming out. Hopefully you guys can, get some ideas for the meta, build like a decent team, and try not to get RPS.
I mean, these breakdowns are always like so helpful to like conceptualize the meta, break it down into like all the necessary parts. So yeah, I'm definitely more informed.
I think I'm just gonna go with my additional idea. It seems like the most balanced.
Yeah.
Outside of the Razor Leafers, so.
All right, we are gonna raid in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out.